So here we go down to the Pigeon.
It's a good road.
This is the put-in. So Leslie's ready to go. Thanks, Leslie, for taking us. And now we just got to slide our boats down the hill. So this is put in at the Pigeon on Monday morning, 9:30 Central Time. Very good day getting in. Only 2 people. It's real easy. And if I remember correctly, this is a really different looking little creek, the Pigeon, which runs from in Butler County all the way to the Sepulga, where it joins the Sepulga, Canoeing, Scenic river system. It is mentioned in Sweet Home Alabama prominently, even though that movie was filmed mostly in Georgia. Cypress knees. You got a good canoe. See where the water is falling? It rained a good bit 2-3 days ago. I'd prefer not to camp in the woods. Somebody did right there. Lots of mosquitoes. See the ferns? The ferns here are really pretty. So we're in Covington County, which is the county with Andalusia and red level. And this creek is moving and it does not have logs in it much. And Jeff was saying it's probably because it doesn't have a lot of pine trees along the bank. The cypresses that are along the bank here tend to hold the bank and not fall in the creek. The temperature is supposed to be 99 today, the high of 99.
Mexico will be falling all over the place. Man, that's like some wooden, yeah, man, that's a old wooden pole.
Yep.
Going up the railroad track.
Wow, and it's a long trestle. Jeff's saying a railroad bridge, and I think it is. If you look up there, you can see the cross tie.
That'd be really cool to see a train going over.
That is a big old bottom on a cypress tree. And there are the knees.
You can see about a foot down.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that root.
I'll take it being a little stained.
Yeah.
Rather than it being so low you can't get out of it.
Oh,
This is one of the rare places where the creek is actually changing. So this used to be the bank. There's a rare pine tree. I think it's a loblolly. This is the most peaceful, easy to canoe thing that I've been on in a long time that's small. No stories to tell about it because I have only been on this one time with some dear friends about 25 years ago. These are late season webworms in a persimmon. This is a pretty bridge from old days. There's a put in, yeah, they could do that too. That's a pretty good choice for a house site.
don't know if that would get flooded. That's
You always hope it's high enough. The creek's changing a little bit. The banks are a little lower and they're more sort of sandbars. There's some more webworms. I just passed under a hornet's nest. Jeff said, look above you, and I didn't see it in time to video. Really glad I didn't hit it with my paddle. Just when you thought there was nothing to stop you, there's a log all the way across the creek.
never say smooth sailing from here.
Made it over the log. And this is a great place to have lunch. I just ate 2 peanut butter and honey sandwiches, and they were good. I don't know what you ate, Jeff. What'd you eat?
I had a ham and cheese sandwich.
Ham and cheese? That might be better than my peanut butter and honey. I think I could suffer living right here in this house with that big window. So this is the border of Covington and Conecuh counties now, the Pigeon Creek. Here at Highway 24, and then so you can get down to the creek here at Highway 24. There's a road to it and a put in. And this will be a really good ride to 84 and take out, or on to the Sepulga. There's a piece of railroad iron sticking out of the water. There's 4 of them all around. No idea what it's doing here. Very large structure. In fact, there are houses up and down here. Jeff's seat broke, so he's found a new seat.
Not bad, huh?
So the creek slows down again here. Back to pretty banks and slow, tranquil water and beautiful clouds on a very, very hot day in South Alabama. The whole creek breaks over a little rock ledge. This is a really neat place. More cypress knees. They're a constant fixture on the Pigeon. Nobody knows for sure what they're for, but they do stabilize the cypress trees. And they stabilize the bank. After a brief rest on this nice, lovely bank, we're getting ready for more opportunities to get stuck on a rock as the creek breaks again. The creek is just a little bit shallower than it needs to be, maybe 4 inches. And it could have fallen out since yesterday. But the Sepulga is going to be perfect. And we'll live with a few drags on the Pigeon in late July. It's still really pretty with really pretty skies. And 99 degrees. This is my third time being on this little part of the Pigeon. And it's Jeff's first. So we really don't know much about it. Sometimes you just have to go under the trees. Jeff's had to maneuver in his boat 3 or 4 different ways. Now he's settled on the back.
Getting cramped.
Yep.
The old age is kicking in.
July, there's not as much water dripping out of the bank as there is in June. If you could grow these ferns in your yard, you'd have a beautiful yard. You can hear Highway 84. So I guess the highway runs along the creek here. They've got riprap and rocks of other kinds. So we've been on the creek 5 hours, And we've gone from Highway 55 to Highway 84 bridge. If you look at the map, it'll also say Highway 12. Also, if you check with Google, it thinks the Sepulga River and the Pigeon Creek are the same thing. There's some leftovers from long ago. So here's the Iron Bridge remains. Again, it was. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a World War II bridge, prefab. It looks just like the one over Bull Slough, except the one over Bull Slough has still got planks on it, and this one is not planked at all anymore. Well, I got to stop filming and start deciding here. The creek totally turns a circle here. That was a good one right there, and we went right through it. Yeah. Where? Look at that, guys. Died right there, and they left it. Well, here we are, setting up camp at 4:41, and the only problem is it's 7 o'clock, and it's still about 85 degrees, and we're still sweating. Well, the first night passed good. Didn't cover myself up at all, and stopped sweating and went to sleep about 10 and slept all night. The water has actually risen. I would say it's come up about 2 inches over the night, but it's clearer. 7:20 on July the 29th, and we have broken camp completely. Left a lot of footprints, and we're ready to go. The Indians probably kept these woods completely clean, not totally detreed, but no underbrush. They burned every year, they say. The creek is totally going that way, blocked by a huge raft of junk. It also goes this way, in front of a good sandbar. Who knows? One guess is as good as another. Jeff chose the other route. It's a short way. I'm going the long way, which is a much smaller creek because the water is all going the other way. I know one thing, there's a monster big sandbar that would be good for camping. It's good for turtles to lay their eggs. There's where one went up. Really big sandbar. This is the biggest sandbar I've seen since we started this trip. The sandbar just keeps going on. That's a cypress stump from the logging days, to give you an idea how big they were. So this part is old. And there's some of the knees left, still there. And there's a pretty sycamore. This little gentleman, or it's probably a lady, has joined me, along with about 10 or 15 of her friends. Every time you go into a bush and get them in your boat, they build a web and stay with you the whole trip. Won't be a bad drag. No. So this log goes all the way across the creek. So we're looking to drag. That one's totally impassable without dragging your boat today.
That one's been there a while.
Yeah.
Created a whole fence.
So this is the first water snake I've seen in a long time. This one appears to be gravid, and she's upset.
Oh, great. Right toward me, too.
That was yeah. That was a midland or a banded water snake. little bit more. There you go. This is a really pretty stretch of creek. It has become more coastal looking. The cypresses, which we had cypresses before, but they aren't hanging over the creek like this, and narrow with stumps in the water. Really pretty. Sycamores dot the banks. Lots of rocks all across the water here. As we get close to the Sepulga, we start to see the limestone rocks. We're coming up on some bigger, different water for sure. Boy, there are a lot of airplanes flying out of the air base in Fort Walton area. Yeah, this is lively right down here. This is a complete waterfall, but I'm not sure how we're going to get down it.
You don't remember this?
It was different. The water was much lower, and then when it was high, we just went right through it. Today we're right in the sweet spot where I don't think you can do either one. I think we probably took our boat up here and just pushed it off.
Probably need to go to the left and just ease it down.
I think that's the right thing to do too. When you're old, discretion is the better part of valor.
Yeah, when we was teenagers, we would have gone barreling of this.
The plan is to throw the boat over and then get down there and hopefully catch it. So this waterfall at this water level is impressive. When the water's about 2 feet lower, you can just stand out in there and let the boat over this side right here. When the water's a foot or two higher, you just go right over it. The boat just sits here in this boil. The trip to the Sepulga, which is right down here, is through all this limestone that we're all hitting. This is the stopper. This is why people don't run this bottom part of the Sepulga to the Canoeing unless the situation is just right. Here's the river. So this is the Sepulga River. That's the mouth of the Pigeon from the Sepulga. So we got to the mouth of the Pigeon on the Sepulga at 10 o'clock, July the 29th. It took us, we left yesterday at, what time, 9?
Yeah, about 9:30.
9:30. And we made it here in about 7 hours.